Hey guys, Emerald Black here, and I just read Red Hood and the Outlaws, and it was my first comic book series that I've ever read start to finish. And believe it or not, it was actually my first comic book I've ever read at the time. And having read this comic, I really wish that my mom would have bought me comic books as a kid because I felt like I would have been a lot happier. As a kid, I didn't get out much. I was very sheltered. I was always kept in the house. I had to babysit my little sisters. So it would have been very nice for me to have these heroes, these comics to kind of read and get into. And I know there's more out there than just DC and Marvel, but I've been on a huge DC buff right now. I've been playing DC Universe Online. I've been reading. I read Red Hood and the Outlaws. I'm planning to read Batgirl because the Bat family is so badass, and I want to learn more about them. So that's another direction I want to go. I want to read Teen Titans. I want to read Supergirl, Titan Hunt. There's so many heroes and things that I want to get into, and I wish that I would have had this opportunity to get into them as a child. Um, and the reason being is because through Red Hood and the Outlaws, I mainly got the message of like friendship and the fact that you don't need romance. You know, like all three of these characters, you had Starfire, you had Jason Todd Red Hood, you had Arsenal and Red Arrow, and they were there, and they were so lost. They all had troubled past. They all had this hardship that they went through in the past, and they found comfort and light in each other and their friendships. And this is something that I can definitely relate to because we all have friends. You know, we all have people that we're close to. I have John, who is my best friend, who's helped me come from some of the darkest points in my life. And reading this comic, I completely related to these characters. Granted, I don't relate to, Jason, being killed, coming back to life, or Starfire being an alien, but the moral of the story I understand. And I feel like Jason said it best in a panel that I read. He was giving a monologue about Starfire, how he said that romance and friendship are the same type of love, that there's no difference between them. Um, and that's so true to an extent. They are the same type of love, but they are very different. And I feel like, especially growing up in America, uh, it's something that we Americans don't really understand because all we see on media is romance and love, and you have to have a girlfriend, you have to be married, you have to do all this stuff and be with somebody to be happy. But then I read comics like this, and I see that you don't. That you can have people in your life that aren't a boyfriend, that aren't a girlfriend, that aren't, your significant other, and find comfort in them and them help you find yourself. And I felt like that's all this comic was, is that all three of these guys were struggling with something, and they found comfort in each other. And I feel like this was the best comic that I could have gotten into as my first comic because the morality, the writing, the characters, it was amazing to me. And I'm so glad that John recommended this to me. The reason he recommended this to me was because he's doing a Red Hood cosplay, and if he's gonna cosplay, he's like, well, why not understand the character? So I read the comic. I loved it. If you guys have more comic books that you guys like that I can get into, maybe introduce me into like the world of Marvel or some of these other comic series out there. Uh, Suggest them to me because I want to know. Like comic books is something that I'm completely new to. 21-year-old here, and just read my first comic, and it's definitely a eye-opening experience for me. If you have not read Red Hood and the Outlaws, I highly suggest you read it. I know it's been out for a while. I'm not trying to give any spoilers or anything like that, but the series it's amazing. And like I said, the message is there. The message is the one thing that kind of like stuck with me, and I feel like it's one of those things that could kind of like help you in the long run, like in life in general, because now I will never look at like romance and love, I mean romance and friendship as the same. I'll always see them kind of different, and it's because of this comic. So thank you guys for watching this video. John suggested I make it, kind of talk to you guys, let you guys into my world a little bit, and yeah, I'm definitely gonna be reading more comics from here on out. So thank you for watching, and like I said, comment below any comics that you think I should get into or that you think would be a great suggestion. I want to read them, and I want to know your thoughts. So thank you for watching for like the third time, and I'll catch you guys later.